was one spectacular game in the NBA last night, and this was the Bucks and the Celtics. It's back-to-back MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo visiting Jason Tatum. We're going to pick this up in the fourth quarter. Celtics had led all night, but Giannis bringing his team back. Mr. Inside gets it to 10 points, and then Mr. Outside is Giannis drilling the three. He had 35 points, 13 rebounds. It's a 2-point game. A minute and a half to go. Celtics looking for a response. We're all tied. Not anymore. Jason Tatum. Oh, that's impossible to stop. He scored 30. Boston by 2. Ensuing Bucks possession. Newest member of their group, Drew Holiday. Watch the step back. He was great last night. Drew Holiday, 25 points in his Milwaukee debut. 9 seconds left in the fourth. Celtics down by 1. What are you going to draw up? They get it to Tatum. Watch the switch. How about this matchup? Giannis, one-on-one with Tatum. 4, 3, 2, 1. Throw it up. Bank is open. Jason Tatum banks home the three. He had 6 threes on the night as part of his 30-point night. That one gives the Celtics the 2-point lead with 0.4 seconds remaining. But again, 0.4 seconds. Bucks have a chance. What are you going to do? Holiday going to throw it up. Giannis looking to throw it down and hold everything. We got a foul. The whistle blows. It's a foul on Tristan Thompson. Giannis is going to go to the line with a chance to tie it. He shot 63% last year. First one. Oh, it's up and good. He needs one more, and we're going to overtime. Giannis. Oh, he pulls the string. Front of the rim. His first game since signing the biggest contract in NBA history. That one doesn't go, and the Celtics survive 122-121 in a thrilling opening game for both of those really good Eastern Conference teams. And Tim Legler joins us here this morning. Timmy Leggs, let me get a thought from you. What do you take out of that one, especially that moment from Giannis at the line?
Listen, you're a two-time MVP, Greeny. You got to make that free throw. It's that simple. And it's one thing to just, beat up a guy over one missed free throw on a night when he had such a great statistical night. This is more than that, though. It's reared its head before. If you go back to a year ago against Miami, and I know he was banged up at the tail end of that series, but he was 20 for 37 from the line in the first 3 games of that series. That's 54%. The year before that, when they lose to Toronto, he shoots 55% from the line in that series. And the reason it's such a big deal, because it's still the one thing holding this team back from breaking through, putting the ball in the hands of your best player in that situation and having faith and confidence that he can do whatever is required in the moment, mid-range, deep, or make a critical free throw to get your team to the next level. And he wasn't able to come through. And it's something that you're going to question about Giannis and this team all season long in those moments.
Giannis, Big Perk, why did I hear that sigh from you? I got 30 seconds.
First of all, it wasn't a foul, and they have that old saying, ball don't lie, because he wasn't supposed to be shooting free throws anyway, but Tim Leggs is on point. But I think it was more about the Boston Celtics. Jaylen Brown was phenomenal last night. With Kemba being out, look for Jaylen Brown to up his game. The mid-range is not dead, and he showed us that last night. By the way, nice additions by the Boston Celtics, getting Tristan Thompson and Jeff Teague. They were huge for them last night.
Those are 2 good teams, along with Brooklyn. Could be very interesting in the East this year. I have to leave it there. I'm coming back to both of you off the top of the next hour on the big story of the NBA night. And then back to the NFL. Tough run for Big Ben and the Steelers the past few weeks. Question, are their problems solvable? Answer, upcoming, right here. Get up on ESPN. Peyton Manning has more with 5. His 14 Pro Bowls, tied with 4 other players for the most all time. So is he the GOAT? Well, Tony Dungy doesn't seem to think so. Listen to this.
I'm never putting Tom Brady ahead of Peyton Manning. So the best he can be is 2. Because Peyton was my guy. So the highest he could ever get is 2. Those mobile quarterbacks, that's who I put ahead of Tom. Aaron Rodgers, John Elway, Steve Young, guys who could move. Not to say Tom wasn't great. He is great, but that extra dimension meant something to me. So that's why I would only put him at 6. Just my opinion.
So that's his opinion. And look, Louis Riddick just mentioned that athletes can be petty. Well, it seemed to bother Tom Brady, who posted this in response, that the Indianapolis Colts have a banner in their stadium that refers to them as an AFC finalist. And I guess Brady's point is, well, we only hang championship banners where I come from. For the record, Tony Dungy was no longer the coach at Indianapolis in 2014. His last year there was 2008. But let's just get right to it, because look, them's fighting words, right? You're the 6th best quarterback I've ever seen all time. D. Wood, you played with him. What do you think?
Man, it's totally disrespectful, man. Listen, people can call me a homer and all that type of stuff because I played with Tom Brady, but I've seen the greatness up close and personal. The other guys that he talked about, yeah, they might have better arm talent. They might have been more athletic, but from the neck up, Tom Brady is the absolute GOAT quarterback, period. And I just go back to Super Bowl 36 against the St. Louis Rams. Here he is, Tom Brady in his second year. The Rams had all the momentum in the world. Ricky Proehl just scored a touchdown. In that broadcast, John Madden was saying in that 2 minute, in that last drive, go for overtime, don't do it. What Bill said, I trust my quarterback. I trust my second-year guy to go down here and drive and make this drive down the field for an eventual Adam Vinatieri field goal. Tom Brady, again, the guy from a mentality standpoint, from a mental standpoint, strongest guy I've ever seen up close. So yeah, they can have that. He can have that. He can have Aaron Rodgers and his arm and Peyton Manning and Steve Young and all those guys. Give me Tom Brady, because I can tell you one thing: when it comes to the last drive, and everyone has talked about it, when it comes to the last drive, we've left too much time for Tom Brady. I'll take that guy.
That was the night that Brady's legend really began. Dominique, you played against Brady and Peyton Manning. Who scared you more?
I mean, I have to be honest, it was Peyton. And I think it was interesting that you brought up the mental part of the game. That was what was terrifying about Peyton. He wasn't like the strongest arm or like the most accurate, but he knew everything that your defense was in. And the only time that we were able to really confuse him was because we knew what he was thinking. This play right here is one of my favorite, and we saw Bill Belichick kind of geek out about it at the NFL 100. It was because we knew that he knew what we were going to be in, so we got in something to show him what he thought he was going to see, but we were going to something different. They had just run a comeback on me that Reggie Wayne caught. They did a hurry up, which we knew meant they were repeating the play. We also knew that if I sit on the comeback, they convert to a go. So Ed runs away from the play. I sit on the comeback. Reggie Wayne converts to the go. Ed rolls over the top and gets the interception. That's how hard you had to work to confuse or trick Peyton Manning. So no one's going to disagree. Tom Brady with 6 Super Bowls is certainly the greatest of all time. But in a preparation standpoint and game-by-game standpoint, Peyton Manning's ability to know what you are in, your entire defense, all 11 guys, including some of the coaches on the sideline, had to hold the disguise, or else Peyton Manning would know your play, and it didn't matter how good your players were because he would pick the perfect play to beat you every time. Tom didn't have that flexibility, at least at the times when I was playing him, and it wasn't something that he was doing.
Quickly, Lewis, what do you think of Tom's response? You just talked about athletes being petty. He throws up that banner up there. What do you think?
I love the petty. I love it. Give me more petty, please. The more petty, the better. Because those are the kind of things that drive people. Tom Brady has won more Super Bowls than any other quarterback. Some people call him the GOAT and all, and he still, to this day, acts as though he is being slighted coming out of Michigan, and people are still doubting him. And that's the kind of thing that I believe just spurs you on to this kind of conversation and puts you in this kind of conversation, because that fire never, ever goes out. And I played against Elway and Steve Young, and those were two bad dudes now.
I love it. I'm going to leave it there.
But Tom is the winningest quarterback ever, so.
There's a lot more to say about this. We're going to come back to this one, I promise, because it is an awesome story, and there's a lot more to be said. But the game